My friends, welcome to another video. In this video, before we begin being able to graph and match and all that stuff, I do kind of want to hit on whether or not we'll be able to determine, right, just by looking at a shaded region, how do we know that this line will either be y is greater than or y is less than? Notice how this line right here has dotted lines. Whenever you see the dotted lines, that means it cannot equal. So we're not going to have the equal to symbol. But the big question is, well, to start off, is this shaded region going to be y is greater than, or is it going to be y is less than? And we're going to try to really answer this question in this video so that the next videos will make a lot of sense. So you'll notice this video, I just want you to watch and see. You don't have to take any notes. It's just for you to hopefully understand. So look here. Notice that this is a dotted line, and all the ones we're going to work on today are just dotted lines, okay? Because really the emphasis in this video is to understand the shaded portions. So is this going to be y is less than 2? Because the y value is 2, it's right at 2, or y is greater than 2. Well, I think conceptually, my friends, we can see that the shaded region is below 2, right? Notice how the shaded region is not up here where it's larger values than 4. Notice the shaded region occurs below 2, so it has to be less than 2, heading towards the negative. So the equation for this should be y is less than 2. Okay, well, how about if we start to get to a little bit more of a complicated problem? Like, for example, this one. How do we know this is going to be y is greater than or less than 2, right? Or y is greater than, looks like it's right in between 4 and 6, so we'll say 5. How do we know this is going to be y is less than 5 or greater than 5? Okay, obviously there's some slope, so it'd be greater than 5 plus something, I don't know what the slope is, x, plus something x, right? I don't know what the slope is. I'd have to try to guess it, right? I guess I could go up 1, 2, 3 over, I don't know, it's kind of confusing. So again, that's why our purpose is not necessarily to figure this out here, but we want to know whether our equation will just start off with one of these. Well, the trick is really always start at your y-intercept, all right, which is 5, and ask yourself, okay, does your shaded region go down below your y-intercept, or does it go up your y-intercept? Well, if you kind of look, it makes sense, right? Look over here. The shaded region is not below 5, right? It's not down here. We don't see it on this y-axis. I just look at the y-axis. We see it right up in this area, up above here. And if we just look at that and for a minute ignore the entire shaded region and not let the shaded region confuse you, I think it's going to help us out. So just look at the y-axis. Well, at 5, I know if I follow my line up here, does it touch my shaded regions? It definitely does. So, well, are these large numbers bigger than 5? Well, yeah, 6, 8, 10, 12, they're all larger than 5. So I know if I was to start this equation, it would be y is greater than 5, and then plus, and then I'll finish my equation, which you'll get to in the next video. So let's take a look at this next example here. Okay, so do you want to know whether this problem starts with y is less than or y is greater than? Well, I always like to start at my y-intercept, which is right here. And again, it happens to be 5. I just did random ones. Well, ask yourself, if you go up from 5, does this part up here, just sticking right here, does this part up here go up the y-axis? No. Or does it touch the shaded region? No. If I just stay on this axis, it does not. Well, what if I go down below? If I go down over here, well, if I start going down in this direction, are these touching the shaded region? Well, definitely. Well, what do you think it would be, less than or greater than? Well, look at these numbers, 4, 2, 0, we're going down. So if I was to start this equation, it'd be y is less than 5, and then I'll finish the rest. And I know it's going to be this here. Okay, again, we'll look at this last one here. Okay, let's start at the y-intercept, which is 6. Now I'll change colors now. So is it going to be y is less than or y is greater than? Well, again, I'll ignore the shaded region, and just starting at 6, I'll go up. Well, if I go up here, is this yellow line touching the shaded region? It is not. Since it's not touching the shaded region and these numbers are getting bigger, I know that's not going to work. Well, is your shaded region, if you draw a line following your y-axis, are the shaded regions, is this pink line touching your shaded region? It is. So I know my equation is going to start with y is less than. So let's go to a problem like this up here. the original problem we started with. Well, what is it going to be? Well, again, I'll just start at the y-intercept. I like to start here. Okay, and I'll go down. I'll just follow this y-axis. Well, does this yellow line touch the shaded region? It does not. It is not touching it. So you know, as these numbers go down, it cannot be less than. What if I draw the yellow line going up on the y-axis? Is it in the shaded region? My friends, it is. So we know for a fact, if I was to start this equation, it'd be y is greater than, and then because the y-intercept is 5, it'll be 5, and then obviously we can begin to draw our points. We'd have to pick a point somewhere over here. We like to go from left to right. Notice we're going down, so we'll be decreasing, but that's for the next video. This video is just understanding whether it's greater than or less than in the shaded region. All right, take care, my friends. Quick